love all women is law. I share the room experience of all women. I share in her pain, her glory. I know we have been through so much throughout the ages, with care of family, mothers, fathers, men, work, information, spirit, and with ourselves. It is time for law to resonate in my consciousness, to be more sensitive to the higher being with all women, especially within myself. I became, so we become. My divinity is no conspiracy. The proof is in the design of my body. I vow to birth her. I stretch, I break, I split, I bleed, I stretch wide open to birth my true life forth. I am a well-equipped woman for love, duty, care, responsibility, nobility, skillfulness, talent, prosperity, and diversity in my womanhood. I release any addictions and ego dancing to over-functioning for love. I vow to embrace my call, not because of attachment to expected outcomes, but because it feels good to. I feel value for who I am to myself, not for what I do to be valuable to others. I vow to evolve my dependence to independence to interdependence. My power is renewed when I play for pleasure and not to just check off my self-care list. I embrace the power of my breath. I know there is something more to that. I myself has always been that one, that person, that body, that human, that wealth, that woman, the plug, that spirit. That's on hood, womanhood. I vow to release all dark, patriarchal programming. The power I wield is from the heart, not from towering over and taking what I can get from others. I vow to unlearn the belief that oversharing, overextending is required to be loved and valued by others. The relationships I have now love me for my unapologetic depth, my alignment, the more true and grounded me, not my masks that reflect theirs. I vow to now embody the belief that love is everything it's cracked up to be. I release all learned cynicism. I vow to listen more to the intuition of my heart and womb than to the protests of my logical mind. I learn to balance them both. I vow to release and forgive all my tendencies to practice over-pleasing others. I take this historical moment in time to step into my destiny and leadership without losing my precious love and driven side of myself. I take a stand for the next generation of women to preach tenderness in our hearts and wisdom in our being, knowing this is what will make the difference in sharing the power with men. I vow to lean into the unearthing of all that ain't true in my life. I vow to close my eyes, take deep breaths, often to allow presence cascade down my spine. The revolution starts in relationship. I know as an awakened woman, I live as love, without holding back, shutting down, without shrinking truth. I burst into a full body yes to the callings of my heart. It's okay to be perceived as destroyed. Many don't understand growth and being seated. The highest expression of my divinity includes my flaws, my wounds, my truest glory. God bless everyone and everything that cracked me open. The world needs more open women. My life is feeling so soft all over. My embodiment as a whole is willingness towards restorative living. I won't prioritize my pride around my grind and hustle. I release that trendy mentality, not my style. I take pride in connection, purification of the heart, creativity and favor over my life. I learn to surrender and realize favor ushers me into places where work ethic could never. And what keeps me in those places is worth ethic. My womb appreciates this type of womaning. I don't subscribe to being the 24/7 warrior. I am the mama bear. My relationship with my womb is the wisdom way to myself, the expressive way with dance, feeling, radiating, holding, nurturing, birthing, prophesying, transmuting, seeing, and loving. I am the vessel of evolutionary consciousness for womanhood, humanity and spiritual revolution within myself. I revere my womb, honoring what her nutritional needs are, the products I use, and I do my due diligence to search out the information, to care for her. My self-care is my womb's honeypot. There's a difference between sacred confidence and profane vanity. My erotic nature will not be suppressed. Pop culture is not my teacher to express my erotic nature. I'm too holy for that. I anoint my skin with oils. I vow to welcome my superpower of my womb. My vow to take in splendor in the sensation of play. I vow to allow elegant exploration of what my womb needs. I vow to regard my womb as sacred. I pay attention to how it feels. I won't ignore what she speaks about everything. I vow to soften my heart, my speech, my thoughts with myself about life. I vow to be at ease when my womb is not at ease. I vow to make daily choices that nourish my womb. I vow to not depend on the West for my womb. I am knowing what my ancestors knew, to trust the body. Use what Earth gave us, and the body will follow. I vow to listen to what she needs. I vow to trust my womb, and I'm learning her voice each day of my life.
She's your queen to be, a queen to be forever, a queen who'll do whatever His Highness desires.
Yeah, big fat nigga, off rip, big fat, got pulled like a crossbow, green like a snot nose, don't fool with lost hoes, keep the Glock close, case a nigga try to meet me at the crossroads. Sheesh, made it out the mud to the top floor, upscale hood, baby, shop at Costco, small but I'm hard like a gallstone, back against the wall, let it ring like a wall phone. I let it purr in the cat fight, light skin but a nigga ain't half white, every beat I'm on is a crash site, 7 years old when my dad died, no cap, my experience was serious, get reary around the myriad of niggas that's amphibious, I had to learn to keep my circle small, nigga, period, savages, law evidence, hard to grapple with, ravenous, ghetto fabulous, well established, catalyst for every daddies is who be the maddest when, you ain't doing bad as them, hey look, big facts for them chance that I rock with ya, ice cold with the stick like a popsicle, 5 kids, I'm fertile, if you ever touch a both shells in your back, Ninja Turtle, cowabunga, don't ever succumb to a lame nigga selling you dreams, mirror, mirror on the wall, and the fears of them all, but name a nigga out here realer than them, yeah,
took the stones and built an empire. They asked me how you come up out the smoke, not smelling like fire. They say that life can be a bitch, so I made her my wife. I fell in love with this adversity and learned how to fight. Look, you don't know what wholeness feels like until you've been empty. You learn you've always been enough by the time you had plenty. Sometimes you gotta lose it all just to find yourself, to realize you had it all when you was by yourself. Cause I was down bad, got up in my bag, now I'm up again. Had to recognize who the fuck I is, had to run it back, ain't no fumbling. I hear you niggas mumbling, but you don't speak my lingo. So focus on my numbers, that they lining up like bingo. I done been through some shit that I probably never speak about. I done seen some lows that the pastor only preach about. I done did some things that some niggas only think about. Wrote this on my heart so nobody else can. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready. They ask me what I'm on, I just say my throne. Remember who I was, baby, welcome home. I've been in my zone, asking how I feel, great. Hungry for everything that's on my plate. When you stay ready, you ain't gotta wait. If you all you got, then you know what it takes. Why y'all niggas love to play? I get too much fucking grace. Had to choose what I won't take. If you drop me, I won't break. Baby, I'm built from the magic, I'm godly. Fuck around, finding out, I get it poppin', I get it choppin'. Yeah. Cause I done been through some shit that I probably never speak about. I done seen them lows that the pastor only preach about. I done did some things that some niggas only think about. Wrote this on my heart so nobody else could. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. If you stay ready.
Music is frequency programming. Music is frequency. What frequency are you being fed? If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind. Target the frequency to go to certain parts of the mind. Or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
This is medicine music, prescription of frequency with a doses influenced by the state of the culture lacking some nourishment. Hella deficient of love, they needed encouragement, but taught to get numb off the drugs. Started to notice the loose screws, 10 of my toolbox. Cause how can you mend the issue when you got a bruised heart and mentally been scarred, physically been barred, ready for rebirth, but spiritually it's been hard. Let me take you through some steps that I done learned, loved one. Cause it don't happen overnight, this healing's earned, loved one. It come with practice, releasing your distractions, setting healthy boundaries and managing attachments. We made in God's image, but we started walking backwards when we gave away our power by submitting to a master. Then they pimped our infrastructure, changed the pricing in the package. Told you if you want it back, it's in blood cause they attacking. If you want to free your mind and free your spirit from the toxic, gotta vow to kill the poison of the snakes that's in your garden. Only giving your attention to the things that bring you honor. Keep your vibe sucker free and your circle free from drama. Shit, life crazy when you really think about it, and shit could get wicked if you really ain't moving solid. I'm praying you don't risk your whole life just for $1, and you conquer your demons before you end up getting conquered. So I gift you this medicine music. Yeah, I gift you this medicine music. Felt like I needed an umbrella for the rain, cause life was handing lemons, so I made some lemonade. You can sit with this medicine music. Belly of the beast to swallow you up for profit. Call it capital gains and they ain't even lifting proper. I aim to break the cycle my grandma passed to my mama, cause the DNA carry generational wealth and trauma. Encoded with a message, unfolding to your blessings. If you walk in your purpose, you can heal your family lineage. Work smart so I can leverage all of this time invested. Sing about me when I go, I lived everything I was destined. Victory over obstacles, 2020 my opticals. Cutting out all distractions, applying knowledge, I got the tools. Lesson learned that I got it, you junior died. Sparked a few, step died. Spark the fuse, no way, I'ma lose this weight I carry heavy, but my ancestors heavier. Thought I was moving steady, but now I'm moving steadier. Gave my burdens to God, and now I'm feeling merrier. Got my eye on a lover, imagining I can marry her. And now it's come a time where you gotta pick a side, or whether or not you gon' contribute to Earth's demise, or if you gon' be one of them ones that embody light. Cause the future gon' be fucked up if the kids can't live their life. So I offer you medicine music. Yeah, I give you this medicine music. Yeah. Hey. Felt like I needed an umbrella for the rain. Cause life was handing lemons, so I made some lemonade. You can sit with this medicine music. I gift you this medicine music. Yeah.
The brain processes information electrically. It communicates with the cellular structure electrically. And it operates within a certain band of frequency. Frequency.
Learn to cloud surf while never leaving Earth. 10 toes firmly planted in the dirt for what it's worth. See my life flash before my eyes a couple times. So I'd be lying if I said I don't believe in the divine. For reasons we can't find, the truth will probably blow our minds. This energy in the universe send chills down your spine. Had a talk with a goddess about human design. Pull my code to how I need to get my chakras aligned. Gotta break some bad habits, it's addition by subtraction. Move away from bad actors trying to leech off your action. It's the laws of attraction, gotta see it before it happens. Gotta believe it with a passion, then receive this beautiful madness. Find a pattern in the chaos, their assessment was way off. You build it from the ground up, you own it, so ain't no layoffs. Your energy is equity, cashing on your day off. Hope to reach a couple souls, it's all a part of the payoff.
Peace and blessings, star seeds. Hey, no technical difficulties tonight. Peace and blessings. Oh, you can't hear me, MaWu Lisa? You can't hear? Can you hear me, star seeds? I'm unmuted. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If you can't hear me, say no, 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 no. Is it really? Yeah. Peace and blessings, God. Okay, they can hear me. You can't hear me. So we gotta fix that. Yes, they can hear me. Okay. When I bring you on, I'm gonna bring you on. I'm about to bring MaWu Lisa. So she can't hear me backstage, you guys. So I'm going. She looking like, what is going on? All right. So peace and blessings, Starseeds. Welcome to Pronoia Starseed Podcast. I am the goddess Rael, and tonight is an extremely special Pronoia night. So, as many of you know, we had a mother show dedicated to the mothers prior to Mother's Day. I think it was right before or right after Mother's Day. It was right after Mother's Day on the 12th. We had a mother show, and that was dedicated to our mothers, MaWu Lisa and mine. And my mother passed away May 21st, 2021. So today would be 5 years ago that I lost my mother. It does not feel like 5 years. And it's very significant to this show because the show was built on the mother energy, right? And when my mother went through cancer, it happened so quickly. I think maybe it was less than 2 weeks from the time we found out to the time that she passed. And the day that she passed, I was preparing to do the mother show. And my aunt walked into the room and she told me that my mother had passed away. And so that was it's hard for me to hear. It was around Mother's Day. And so I postponed doing the mother show for a year. And 1 year later, well, after my mom passed, which would have been 5/21/2021, I did the first mother show. So if you go back and look, it is actually the show that is like clipped to the podcast profile. If you've never seen it, please go back and watch it. It has been the staple of this podcast. It's been like the driving force behind me keep going is my mother. So yes, that show is very special to me. And tonight we are doing part 3 of the mother, which is amazing. To have MaWu Lisa in the building with me to do this is Excellent. We have someone who has the knowledge of what I want to talk about tonight, as well as the wisdom that it carries. So I'm excited to have her here on stage. Thank you, all Starseeds. Peace up. What's up, Cuzzo? Hey, Melissa. I know it is crazy, right? The way things work in this universe, you know, we don't think nothing crazy no more, for real. Everything is just what it is, it just works out the way it is. And so I'm excited tonight to get into the mother. And at this time, us being in the age of Aquarius, in this age of knowing and things becoming known, this is like so perfect time to have this show. So without further ado, I would like to bring to the stage my other mother, my mother's sister, MaWu Lisa. From MaWu Lisa's temple. Let me figure out. We're gonna add it right. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Peace, everyone. Peace, Starseeds. How y'all doing?
Hey, peace. I'm so glad you are here. The Starseeds are in the building. They ready for the mother part 3. Hey, Lady Saturn.
Yes, this is our 3rd time doing this.
Yes.
So, I mean, as always, may Mother continue to rise in power. Let's give her that honor. She is truly missed, but we definitely see her every time we see you. And I was looking for that wig this week, but I see she didn't make an appearance. So we're gonna say she resting till next year.
Yes. Yes.
But thank you so much for having me here for the 3rd time. And we talk about and honor our mothers together. And, it's one of the things that, we had a relationship way before then. And I think when we lost our mothers, it became a different kind of bond. And I'm just grateful to be able to have a space in your heart, with that woman that is so divine that we honor here this evening.
Yes. You all now it's a tradition now. We have made a tradition of this. Okay. I think after a certain amount of time it becomes a tradition. I don't know if it's
absolutely. I agree. Yes. And I had so much fun with the music night too. I wish we would have been able to play all of that music that our parents, that our mothers enjoyed together. But I think people got the gist that they were some pretty groovy ladies and listening to some pretty good music. Yes. So I'm glad to have been a part of that. That was a lot of fun. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Yes, on the 12th, if you guys did not catch that show, we actually honored both of our mothers. We went through the music that they like to play. We had a bundle of laughs. My stomach was hurting after that. I think I had gained 6-pack after that, though. We were having a good old time. So I know we're going to have a good time tonight as we talk about the mother energy, the great return of the great mother. So I want to kind of recap for the Starseeds who, if you have seen the first one or not, we talked about the great mother as a whole, like how she shows up in different ancient cultures, Isis, Kali, Maya, like the energy of the great mother. But this evening, I kind of want to focus in on a specific energy, Sophia Christ. And at that time, I don't think I at all mentioned her when we were talking about the mother energy. And it was like, as we moved into this age of Aquarius, it was almost like she was tapping, hey, you don't know me, but I'm the wisdom. And so I started again digging into the text, because of course it was downloads. I was telling Nick this earlier. It's like, when I do read, and I don't want people to understand, I want people to understand that, like, there's a reason I don't watch a lot of podcasts or read a lot of books prior, is because I get a lot of downloads. And in order for me to keep that stream clear, I try not to be influenced by other people's thoughts, because they may resonate or may not resonate, but I need to know that my thoughts are coming from divine. So usually what happens is I'll get a download and then I'll go research for information. So I read to be informed or for confirmation versus information. And so the mother energy, Sophia, came to me. It was like I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Like, I thought I had touched bases on, this energy, right? I thought I had touched bases on most of it. And when I found out about Sophia Christ, the Christ or Christ, you'll give me, my Lisa clear it up for me, but it's Sophia. When I found out about that, I was like, oh, she wants to be a part. So she is now part of, this is what Mother 3 is going to be focused on, is the Sophia Christ story, the story behind Sophia, what Sophia is. And there's nobody else I could have invited here who would have been able to, I think, give us, because MaWu Lisa, when I started mentioning MaWu Lisa looking at me, she was smiling. She started smiling. She gets so proud when I start to discover things, and it was because of this book, for one, that I had, this was one of the texts that led me down the road of Sophia, the Gnostic text, Jesus and the Lost Goddess, which I premiered over there on the Unread podcast with Mama Ruth and Nick. So if you guys are not subscribed to Mr. Westbrook's, please do, so you can catch that over there. But this was the book that me and her discussed on the show. And so my Lisa, of course, I was like, you got this book? She looked at me like, girl, stop playing. I had that book 40 years ago. But I love that she is always like so supportive when I get excited about stuff. Like when I get excited, y'all, when I go down the rabbit hole, I go with like a shovel with me, because I don't go as deep as it go. I want to dig even deeper. And so tonight, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get into the Gnostic text. We're going to talk about the Great Mother as a whole first, but then we're going to get into the Gnostic text. I'm going to let Mama Ruth tell us, give us some information, because she has hers, and then I'll share as well. But if you didn't catch the beginning of the show, I put up some screenshots of information for you to go back and view, and I'll put them up later. But I want to let Mama Ruth get in and talk to us about the mother energy, Sophia Christ, and what she has to offer tonight.
Absolutely. Again, thank you so much for having me here. You're making me laugh, girl. I be feeling old as Methuselah up in here. But it's okay though. I like it. I'm digging it.
You the mama.
I like that. I'm getting older. I told you my daughter about to be 40.
That's what I said. That's what popped in my head when I said 40. She had this book as long as she had her first child.
But no, a lot of this information, let me just say, a lot of this information we know. We know it. It's just been called by different names. One of the things that I would love for you to do is, when you do put those images back up, the one you had with the goddesses in different cultures, you had Ishtar and a couple of other, I couldn't really see because it was small for me, but you had that timeline of kind of, different cultures and their name for this same, energy. And so what we're talking about here in essence is wisdom. And, I tell people that, religion as an institution may have done a number on people. I don't disagree. But I said religion as a science, to study it from the scientific aspect, is something different. To be able to study it from the self-refinement aspect is something different, because truly you can take self-refinement from anything that you find in nature, because everything is wisdom. Everything is Sophia. And that's what we'll come to discover tonight, is that there would be nothing without the wisdom of Sophia. Everything named that you have a name for came from this wisdom, this thought, this breath of life. We have quite a few references we can pull from the book that you shared. I remember when we did the very first show, you started with Kali, and I was so excited because that's one of my homies. We be rocking out, and she be sharing information with me, And I love that because what we explained then was that there was a warrior awakening, a raise that was happening in that time that was forcing people to look at where they were and like, this is not right. You have to get there first, a lot of times. And, wisdom where you are now in this third year, you know what I'm saying, is in the supreme mathematics is understanding, you know what I mean? And so we're at the stage now where you've had the knowledge, the wisdom, and now here comes the understanding of what it was that you've been building up to get ready to move into this next phase. And that is, using the wisdom of Sophia. So when we look at, the religious text, obviously, we have Sophia like we have every other figure in history, which is in the form of a human. They do these things to make it relatable to you. But, for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, and hearts to truly, discern, we see the wisdom inside of what is being offered, regardless as if you show me a bird, a fly, and a human, and a car. It's all the same. You know what I mean? In some way, these things are moving forward. So when we start to study Sophia, we can look at it from the very physical aspect of what they say Sophia is. But if we go into the text where it's mentioned, we go back into things like the wisdom of Solomon, and a lot of people don't know that the wisdom of Solomon is from the Apocrypha, and the Apocrypha was one of the books that was removed from the Bible, with the Council of Nicaea. So when we get into the Nag Hammadi library, when that was found, a lot more people were introduced to, or should I say reintroduced to, Gnostic beliefs. And what they realized quickly was that these Gnostic beliefs lined up with what their ancestors practiced before, quote unquote, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and all of these other isms that we have. And, let me just say, natural evolution and people being who people are, there was destined to be a separation, because we're even told about that. People are not going to see things the same way. They're not going to translate things the same way. They're not, you can take something, and that's why I love symbology, and talking about, what we see in different pieces of artwork, because what jumps out to people is different. Even in channeling, you and I could sit and we could hear the same exact thing, but what stands out to you and what stands out to me is going to be different, not only based upon what we've already gone through, but the knowledge of what we've gone through, the wisdom of what we've gone through, the application and the true understanding and how it fits into what we're trying to do in that moment and what that channel is about in that moment. So, like I said, we see, I didn't know if you had any books pulled out. Now, I wasn't going to pull all them daggone books out, okay? Because I already went against my own rules and printing out my notes. But what it is on this phone is so small, I can't see my own notes.
Right.
So I had to print them out. So when I printed out, I said, well, you know what? I might as well pull down one or two books. And I said, I'll be there, have all these books on a stack on the floor, and there ain't nobody going to help me put them all away again. And they'll just stay there. You know what I'm saying? But I did pull out the Apocrypha.
Oh, yes.
So this is a hard version one. Now, I will tell you, my first introduction to the Apocrypha was in my grandmother's Bible. She had an original Bible with the Apocrypha in it. I still have it. It is very loved. I don't touch it a whole lot because it is very loved. And it starts to crumble in your hands almost. But it is and it is the same thing that is here. But what I will say is that and I wrote it down, the version, the NRSV, which is the New Oxford Annotated Bible with the Apocrypha, does have a little bit different wording than the original. I will say that it's just like with the King James Bible and the New Living Testament, like, when they make it more accessible and digestible to the audience. So that's all they really did. But when we talk about the wisdom of Solomon, you don't necessarily see the word Sophia. And that's one of the things that we want to talk about, because the goddess is hidden. And so when you talk about this return of this goddess, she never went nowhere. She was just hidden.
Right.
And for those who knew, they knew. And those who didn't, they didn't. And there was an era in a time when that ignorance needed to be the thing in control, because of this great awakening that was getting ready to take place. None of this is by accident. All of this is on purpose.
Yeah.
And that's hard for some of us to really acknowledge when we think about some of the things we've been through. We think about some of the things we've been through in life, and they seem so big because they happen to us. But in the scale of the universe and all of the people in the world, the things that we've been through, but we are a collective. We are one. So what one is experienced, we've all experienced, whether we know it or not, because it affects us in some kind of way. And we'll talk about that when we talk about the wisdom of Sophia and the embodiment of her 5 aspects of wisdom. So with that, I'll take a moment and I'll just are there any questions, any direction that people are looking for, but they have not quite found in what I said so far?
So you guys, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. So far, I think they are following along. I'm over here like,
Okay.
And I feel like, like you said, when I think about even the return in the way that you said it, just like that, it's like she's been hidden, and it's like, yep, it's her return to the forefront, return to where she belongs. But like you said, that everything happens the way it's supposed to. Whatever was taken over at that time needed to happen at that time, and there are no mistakes. So even us having this conversation at this time, it is divinely guided. Okay, we do have some questions here.
Okay,
here we go. So does Sophia go by any other name in various religious texts? So I'm gonna put us backstage real quick, and I'm gonna let MaWu continue to talk, but I'm gonna put up on the screen the different goddesses that we put up earlier, and then I'll have MaWu continue.
Okay, right. I think it would be great if you spoke on that, because I can't see the wording. So I'll let you. I'll yield, and I'll let you go ahead and explain the slide to them, and then we can talk a little bit more.
Okay. And I got mine on so I took notes, y'all, and I put it on my phone because the slides are kind of tiny, but I'll put it up for your viewing pleasure.
But the pictures are great. The pictures are a nice size.
Okay, I'm going to remove us real quick. But back.
You are talking. I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
All right, great. So you guys, these are the depictions. Let me remove the comment real quick. Awesome. So these are the different depictions that I was able to pull up and of the goddess, the great mother energy throughout the different cultures and the different ancient cultures. So let me go to my notes. And I don't know if I just wrote them out, so I don't even know. I did them all in order. But so the first one you see is like the Venus figure. These are some of the oldest spiritual artifacts they've discovered. The Venus figurine dates back to over 30,000 years and were found across Europe. It's an exaggerated feature of the female. Large breasts, hips, and wombs suggest fertility, nourishment, and abundance in life itself. These figures tell us that the ancient people likely viewed feminine bodies as sacred, directly connected to creation and survival. This may be humanity's earliest evidence of the Great Mother worship. So next you have goddess worship in places like ancient Turkey. Archaeologists uncovered shrines dedicated to the female figures and symbols of fertility. So that's what you see here. These societies appear to have centered spiritual lives around goddess, nature, cycles, birth, and earth itself. Women may have held important spiritual and leadership roles in these communities. Rather than domination and hierarchy, many scholars believe that these cultures emphasize balance, cooperation, and connection to nature. Next up, we have, of course, Isis, Hathor, Nut from Egypt. So in ancient Egypt, goddesses were central to spiritual life. Isis was known as the Great Mother, a goddess of magic, healing, and resurrection, sacred wisdom. She often shown holding her son Horus, a sacred mother and child image that later resembles depictions of Mary and Jesus. Hathor represented love, joy, motherhood, and cosmic nourishment. Nut was the sky goddess who stretched herself across heavens, literally embodying the cosmos. The feminine was not secondary in Egypt, it was foundational. Next up, we have Sumar. So we have Ina/Ishtar here. And Ina, later called Ishtar, was one of the earliest recorded goddesses in human history. She ruled over love, fertility, beauty, war, sovereignty, and cycles of life and death. Her descent into the underworld symbolizes spiritual transformation, death of the ego, and rebirth. Ina represents the feminine as powerful, complex, and sovereign, not passive. Next, in the Indus Valley civilization, the mother goddess. So in the Indus Valley civilization, thousands of female figurines have been discovered. Though much of their language remains undeciphered, these figurines strongly suggest a widespread reverence for female divinity. The goddess appears connected to fertility, abundance, agriculture, and nature. Many scholars believe that these traditions later influenced aspects of Hindu goddess worship. Then we have, do I have it in? Let me make sure. Is this Greece? Yes. Okay. So we're up to the Greece. Ancient Greece. We have Gaia, Rhea, and I don't know if I'm saying this right. Cybele?
Sybil.
Sybil. Okay. I was trying to be little. Cybele. Sybil. In ancient Greece, the earth itself was feminine. Gaia was the primordial mother earth, the source from which all life emerged. Rhea was the mother of the Olympian gods, and Sybil, often called the Great Mother, was worshipped through mysteries, tradition focused on rebirth and spiritual transformation. Before the rise of dominant male gods like Zeus, many feminine-centered traditions already existed. And then in China, in Chinese Japanese mythology, Nuwa is the Great Mother who created humanity. She is said to have formed humans from clay and repaired the heavens after cosmic destruction. Nuwa represents restoration, compassion, protection, and creation itself. Her role was shown that even in ancient Chinese cosmology, the feminine was viewed as the creative and sustaining force. Now I want to show you one more that I was showing earlier, and we're going to talk about this one, the Black Madonna. Across Europe and parts of the Middle East, sacred images of the Black Madonna appear in churches and shrines. These dark-skinned depictions of Mary often became associated with miracles, healing, compassion, and mystical wisdom. Some scholars and spiritual traditions believe the Black Madonna preserves traces of older Great Mother traditions beneath Christianity. Even today, popes and pilgrims travel to pray before these sacred images. And of course, last but not least, we are back to Sophia, the Gnostic Great Mother. In Gnostic traditions, Sophia means divine wisdom. And this, all I'm doing is quoting back to what you guys, what my Lisa has already told you, but I'm going to go over it real quick. These are my little notes, okay? So she's the feminine aspect of divine, the source of spiritual awakening and inner knowledge. Sophia is often described as the mother of creation, the soul of the world, the force of guiding humanity back to divine remembrance. In many ways, Sophia represents the return of the sacred feminine within the spiritual consciousness. All right.
Okay.
That's back. Boop.
Can you put that slide back up with all the goddesses on it?
Absolutely. Boop. There you go.
Awesome. I love this slide. When I see slides like this, I always get happy because, it says so much. And while it says so little, it says so much. The first one, the picture of Venus, I love this one because of the simple fact they said, didn't they say what did they say, unrealistic or something the way it was depicted exaggerated. That was the word they used. I was like, no, it ain't. I know people that look like that.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, matter of fact, my ninnies ain't like that. No, but seriously, we think about our big mamas.
Yes.
A lot of our big mamas was built just like that.
And I will say that I know that back in the day, in cultures like that, when you had a woman who was built like that, that means that you was taking good care of your life.
Absolutely. You were fertile. You were fertile, myrtle. You were home. You were health. You were wisdom.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You were wisdom. If you look right now at many places on the continent, you still have women who that they're revered for being healthy. I remember when I was teaching belly dancing classes, right? And I had this lady who was like, oh, bigger women, they don't belly. I said, let me tell you something. Over there, belly dancing for bigger women, you do all right. You know what I'm saying? You do just fine because they respect and they honor the body. What a woman body does is amazing. It's a miracle.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Everything about it is a miracle. Every part of your body is a miracle. Every part of it. Because all of it is required to create and carry and sustain life.
Absolutely.
Including your own.
Yep.
After we give birth, people, they tend to forget. You stop, your heart stop. You stop breathing, you die for a minute just to bring somebody in here.
Yes.
And then you got to come back and you got to live and take care of them.
Yes.
So you tell me you need a little bit of extra weight on you when you're doing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody says. You need a little bit of extra mama love on you. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. Them babies love to lay in them big bosoms of grandma.
You better know it.
My baby's like, no.
You better absolutely know it. So the next one, they were just basically talking about, the Great Mother as a whole, correct?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. So let us just say that there's never been a place where archaeology or colonization or whatever has not unearthed something that had divine feminine connected to it.
Absolutely.
When I was young, although even though I don't, what I tell you, sometimes stuff we drawn to, but I was drawn to horror films, and The Exorcist, one of the scariest movies on the planet.
Yes.
When it came out in the early 70s, they talked about this expedition that had taken place over there in Egypt, and they had, well, not in Egypt specifically, but in that region, and they had been digging in this particular cave, and they came across, and they showed it and I think in like the third Exorcist, they came across a tomb of a goddess whose name was not supposed to be mentioned.
Wow.
So
now I gotta go back and watch that. Oh,
so they came across this goddess whose name is not to be mentioned. And you know what? You often hear she who shall not be named.
Yes.
And who should be said. And why, you ask? Because that name unlocks a frequency. That name carries a frequency and unlocks a frequency and a knowledge inside of us that is already there. That gnosis, that knowing that we have. Outside of the Apocrypha, one of the books I did pull out because it is a great reference is Elaine Pagels. If you can let me get the other screen back so I can show the people.
Yep, hold on one second.
Okay.
Go down. Okay.
Elaine Pagels.
Oh yeah. The Gnostic Gospels. Ooh.
Yes, this is one of if you go in and you looking for wisdom, Sophia, they're gonna recommend that as one of your secondary scholarly sources. That's what they listed as. And they talk about the influential study of the Gnostic text itself on the role of Sophia, on the role of wisdom. And you can clearly see, much like with the Apocrypha, that same type of information. What it is information that speaks past the symbology and past the, some of the quote unquote parables and things that tie people up, that get people jammed up. In the Gnostic Gospels, I mean, it's very clear, but still you have to know what you're looking at. We're talking about a people who were, like many people, practicing their faith in secret. They had to, because of the oppression of the people who were trying to push something that would be more political. And that's where, people don't really realize that's where that transition took place. It wasn't that, people forgot about the goddess, because they were still worshiping the goddess, whether they admitted it or not. But they were also in this space now where they needed politics, and to be able to align with that, they needed to be able to align with whatever those higher ups were saying was right and exact. And they took religion and thought of it as something else, as opposed to the oppression that they were trying to put on the people. Because, Gnostic information, knowledge sets you free. And the political system was being made that was getting ready to put people in its place, in a place, and in a class, and in a system. And that's where we are today.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But again, everything that happened at night come out broad daylight. And it's broad daylight time now.
Yes, it is.
It's broad daylight time. And people are asking questions because people are realizing that I'm not who I thought I was. I'm not who I was told I was. I'm not where I thought I was. I'm not what I thought I was. And when you start to ask these questions, then you have to go back and look, and Sankofa, you have to look back, see what's going on.
Yes.
Like, hey, wait a minute. Well, what did my ancestors believe? And what did their ancestors believe before there were these books, these man-made books that were telling you what they were, even if divinely inspired? I don't argue that they were divinely inspired. You and I are divinely inspired. You know what I mean? So I would never take that away from what it is. So what I say is that when I started with a reawakening is happening, you're coming back into knowing we are one with everything. So the knowledge of that is already there. There's so many things suppressing the information inside of us. Inside of our DNA is the knowledge of everything.
You are MaWu. Listen, so while you was talking, you said the word question, and that's where that, so you guys saw the reel I created where I asked the question, what if Sophia gave Eve the apple? And the reason that question came up for me was because of the word wisdom, and wisdom being associated with the snake. And wisdom also with it in Gnostic texts, we know that the God in the garden is not the almighty, all powerful divine that we think it is. So when we talk about not wanting someone to have knowledge, and we're in the age of knowing, why would your God, and I asked this question on another show, and I may offend some people, and you can please just answer my question in the comments. I don't want to offend anybody. Why would your God not want you to have knowledge of good and evil? Why would your God not want you to become like them? You know, because this is the quotes in the garden. And I wondered why we never question that. Like, why is it wrong to know that I'm butt naked out here in this garden? Why is it wrong to know if maybe the person who was telling me to do certain things may not be as good as I thought that they were, you know? But you don't know because you have no knowledge of good and evil. So when I honestly, my kids was like, "What's wrong, Mom?" It was like, oh, it was just like a download almost. Because I was like, oh, what if, because wisdom has always been associated with the snake. Even in the Egyptians, you know, they wore the snake there on their crowns, and that also represented enlightenment and being awareness, right? And so wisdom and the snake, you know, snakes are not just slithering, sneaky. Yeah, she might have to sneak up in that garden so she can wake her folks up. Like, look, you're butt naked and you're trapped in a garden, and you know, like, so it was a question. And so I'm asking in the comments, if I'm offending anyone, please just tell me why God would want us not to have knowledge of self.
Now, you know, you know, somebody, you know, I don't think anybody in your comments would be offended, but somebody somewhere will.
Somebody
what we'll say is, even though we do this in jest and we make light, we know for some people this is a very serious topic, and it is. But you know what? If we don't bring some levity to this with everything else that's going on, I mean, come on, you feel me?
Yes.
And again, we have to remember that the book we are reading is telling us this story in a way that you can receive it. So it's telling you about this man and this woman, and they was naked. It was a tree, and then it was a snake. And the snake came, he ate the apple. But if you are waiting for this place where this man and this woman and this snake and this tree was, you know, I mean, now is there some place, some reality, some timeline where this is exactly as it's said in this book?
Right.
Who am I to say no? Say no? You know, who am I to say no? But what I will say is that I and many others have taken that story and seen the wisdom in it. You know, and seen the wisdom in it. And you know, again, another book I could have brought out was it's called the Mysteries of matter of fact, you know what? This one is a great book. If anybody ever wants to into this.
African Genesis.
This one is African Genesis, Amazing Stories of Man's Beginnings. And it's by Dr. Barashango. And you know, what I'll say is that the reason a book like this is important is because he covers lands that they don't cover when it talks about someplace else. And I give you an example. He talks about the journey of the ancient African wisdom through astromythology and cosmology. He talks about the Kemetan cosmology in the sphere of the ancient world. He talks about Persia and the Black Buddhas and all these different things, because I think when we start to realize that we are everywhere in every story, the story starts to be like, oh, well, this is the story of life. This is what it is. You are ignorant. You come into the knowledge of some things. You learn, you have a choice. You have choices to do it this way or to do it that way. You discern, you make a judgment, you learn how to make a decision. Like, this is the formula.
Yes.
And it's given to you throughout all of those books of the Bible, all of the books of the Quran and the Torah and all these other books is given to you. It's showing you the blueprint and how these different cultures approached dealing with realizing you are more than you thought you were. Yes. Like really, let's talk about this. You are taught that you are just this regular, smegular, flesh and blood bag, walking around, living and dying at the whim of the universe, just swinging you all over the place, right? This is what it's telling you, right?
Yep.
Making you the opposite of pronoia is making you paranoid, right?
Yeah, for real.
It's throwing you everywhere. It's like, what am I? What's going on, right? You are taught this your whole life. And then one day you sitting and you minding your business and you hear something and it tell you, you ain't what you think you are. Let me show you what you are. Can you imagine going from that dead state of mind to that alive state of mind? That is a birth. This is why in the Bible, in the Quran, and these other books, they don't talk about life and death. They talk about death and life. You dead first.
Right.
You dead first. And it's when you come into the Sophia, the wisdom, the Christ consciousness. This is the Sophia Christ, the wisdom of this divine consciousness. When you come into that, that's when you begin to live. That's when everything starts going crazy.
Yes. Yeah, no, for real.
because look, everything that was pretty and covered is now naked and uncovered. You see all the ugly bits. You know what I mean? You seeing things you ain't never seen. So it's new, it's naked. Your eyes never seen this. Your hands never experienced that. Your feet never walked there. So you was naked. And see, and what happens is that when we're being guided and led, now see, that's where that whole snake and the swerving and all that come in. That's where you being guided and led. This is where it comes back to you again. Now becoming the way, learning. Hey, I tried this. That didn't quite work for me. Let me try this. You know what I mean? Let me go on over here and try this. It's trial and error, because again, somebody say, well, it's the tree of knowledge. You should know everything. Don't work like that. Don't work.
It's the tree of awareness. Okay. Now you got to know everything. It's just waking you up. It ain't giving you all the downloads. It's just, and it's a shock to your damn system. Honestly.
It's like, hello, you here. Yeah. You are here. It's like you're put inside your body finally.
Yes. And now you're like, oh, hold up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
But this is a great book because it really does talk about some of the different places and cultures. But if you were to go back to that slide, one of the things I wanted to show was that even though they don't mention it in
this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Fine. Which one? Which one was it? The third from the last? Which one is that one? After Ishtar, I think it is.
After Ishtar, I'm trying to look on this thing. Oh, it's the civilization of the
Indus Valley.
Indus Valley. Yep, I'm trying to look. Squeeze
Okay, all right. So now, well, you know what? Before I get to the Indus Valley, let me go back over to Isis because I talked about the all gods. Let me talk about Isis. Isis, if you notice, they put a couple of goddesses in stories in that one. You know what I'm saying? They put a couple in there. Why? Because remember when we were doing last week, the last show we did with the music, and I started getting all mushy cry, talking about I am every woman.
Yes,
Isis is a representation of just that. Yes. She is like the Shaka Khan of Egypt. She is every woman. You know what I'm saying? She is her. You know, all of those beautiful colors that they show in her wings, the fact that they show her with wings, they connect her with things like education. You know, a lot of people don't talk about that. They connect her with things like that. You know, inner wisdom, knowing she was if you go through certain mystery schools, there is a level for Isis. For those who know, they know. And you learn a lot at that level. You ain't going in there just getting that level, be like, yeah, I'm here and I'm graduating tomorrow. You're gonna be in Isis level for a minute because she's every woman. But I wanted to mention that you notice when they talked about some of the other goddesses, they spoke to one, but when they spoke to her, they spoke to many. Absolutely. The next one, that was Ishtar, correct?
Yes.
And if you go back now, and again, what I'm showing you is that they show you these here in these cultures, but I'm showing you where you can go and look in other places and find these very same depictions, but mentioned by other people. So Ishtar, if you go back, you look in places like Gilgamesh, and places like that, or even predate in that. To be honest, one of my favorite connections to Ishtar is Lilith, because you know that's the dragon. And again, for the dragon, we go back to the Apocrypha, which is, you know, we begin to talk about that and what that means, which is another form of the snake. But I just wanted to mention that Ishtar, she can sometimes be shown as a goddess with animal face or animal feet, or what look like dragon feet. You know, what we have been told are dragons. You know, so I wanted to mention that one. And then the next one, to end this one, I wanted to mention that if you look at many of our Native American tribes, Mexican tribe, well, you know, more like the Aztecs and the Incas and all kinds of stuff like that, you'll find goddesses that resemble this one and this story. So they'll show you the connection there. And I can't quite make out what that next. Oh, the next one is the Greece one, correct?
Yes.
That was Greece. And if you notice, I want you to look at the difference between the similarities and the difference between the body of Venus, the very first one, and when you get the Greece. They still gave you a full body woman, but they made it more leaning towards their features. That's what we're gonna say. Okay. Right? Yeah. But if you notice, by the time they got finished, their goddesses looked anorexic and thin, and that had to do with, well, honestly, it had to do with the fact that the worship for them had gone down. But we ain't gonna talk about that right now, because that's a whole nother story. If you ever been to Tennessee and you know, go to the Pantheon. I got pictures at the Pantheon with the goddess. Man, it's awesome. It was very awe-inspiring. And in that last one, which was that one?
China.
Okay, yes. China. If you look in some of the other stories, you'll find Kuan Yin, which is the goddess of compassion. And she is also recognized as part of that, the goddess mothers, the first women of divine feminine energy that was recognized as quote unquote godlike energy in that space. So I just wanted to share that because somebody did say were there other names. So I hope I answered that person's question.
All
Are
right.
there any more? Because I start the woo.
Yeah.
This my thing right here. This is my jam. So what else? We got any more questions down there?
Let's check here. Greetings, modern day. Thank you for being here.
Greetings, everyone.
Yeah, thank you all for being in the building. We are discussing. She said, yes, you answered her question.
Yeah, I'm glad, baby.
I'm going to pull up, and I would love for you, if you would, and you don't have to go off. I'm just going to put it up here for them to see. But if you can just give us because I don't know if everybody, so if you have not, this is my jam too. Okay. If you have not delved into the Gnostic text, you may not have the background, like the premise or the story of Sophia and the demiurge. And I put this up because, let me pull up the media I have for her.
Well, make sure you want to read that one for us, right?
Girl, let me.
No, I'm serious. Summarize that for us. I mean, I can't see with my bifocal.
Well, let me. I have to zoom in. Hold on one second. I would have to go in and zoom in too myself. I am going to summarize it, and then I'm gonna let MaWu Lisa get into it. But it is very tiny, you guys. I tried to make it as big as I could. I promise I did.
But I think you did a wonderful job. I love the images you were able to share.
Thank you. So, okay, hold on one second. Let me just pull it up so I can look at the actual, not my notes. There we go. Okay. So the first, if you look over here, well, I'll read over the text that's on here. It says, Sophia Christ, the Gnostic Great Mother, divine wisdom, sacred feminine, Christ consciousness. In Gnostic tradition, Sophia, divine wisdom, and Christ are not separate. Sophia is the great mother, source of all life and wisdom, who gives birth to the Christ within and helps restore humanity to its divine origin. So that's who Sophia is. It means wisdom in Greek. She is a divine feminine principle, external, universal, and uncreated. She exists with the pleroma. So if you guys have never heard of the pleroma, I think MaWu Lisa can tell y'all about what the pleroma is.
Just put it on me, why don't you?
Yes, ma'am. She gonna give me the break.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You know what the pleroma is for sure. I recently learned about all of this stuff, y'all. I promise you, I went down that rabbit hole. It's so beautiful, though. It's a beautiful.
We're going to pull out a dictionary in a minute.
Yes.
I pull out my dictionaries. You ain't said nothing. Good. Keep on talking.
Which is also the fullness of God and is the first expression of the divine. She is both mother and guide, nurturing and soul's return to the divine. So over on the right hand, I guess it'll be women. I don't know which side. You see where the baby and the mama is? I'm going to read the text under there. So Sophia is actually, if you go down, I'm not going to read that. You guys can read that. Hopefully you can see it. If not, screenshot and you can zoom in and you can keep that for yourself. But I'm going to go down to Sophia's journey. This is what I wanted MaWu Lisa to talk to us more about. But this is the journey of Sophia. So the fall, Sophia reaches out of longing to know more of the divine and creates the material world. The exile. In her descent, Sophia becomes trapped in ignorance and forgets her true home in the fullness. The awakening. Through inner knowing, Sophia awakens and remembers her light. The return. Sophia unites with the Christ within and restores the soul to divine wholeness. So I wanted you to kind of, because this was a very short and summarized version, but I also wanted you to kind of talk about where Sophia shows up, how she shows up, and like her connection to the world we live in now. Okay. All right. So just give me all the hard work. I mean, you be trying to give me the heavy lifting over here.
It's okay. I'm gonna get you back. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right, so I'm gonna read to you a little bit from the Gnostic Gospels, Elaine Pagels, right? Okay. So it says, whoever comes to experience his own nature, human nature, as itself, that's the source of all things. The primary reality will receive enlightenment, realizing the essential self, the divine within. The Gnostic laughed in joy and being released from his internal constraints to celebrate his identification with the divine being. And then it goes on to say, the gospel of truth is a joy for those who have received from the Father of truth the grace of knowing him. For he discovered them in himself, and they discovered him in themselves. An incomprehensible, inconceivable one, the Father, the perfect one, the one who made all things. Now, I'm going to stop right there because and I'm sure somebody has asked the question, how do we go from she to he? And how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what did we say was going on? Politics, things of this nature. Man inserting himself in the bigger story of creation, because it tells us from the Nag Hammadi library that Sophia is the being of the thought of the invisible spirit. So Sophia is thought, it's the mind itself, is what comes before the word. So when we hear that, the word was spoken, they hear he spoke the word, but she was the thought that inspired the word, the invisible spirit. Okay, the actual breath of power, what gave the power to the word was wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So the word was spoken by he, sure, the builder, let's do that. But the thought inspired the wisdom of the knowledge that would always be, the thing that would sustain, that can never be destroyed, already was, and that was wisdom.
Yes.
Okay. Did I get that right? Yay!
Yes.
I wanted to say that in the Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, in chapter 7, and they say verse 22, but I always tell people, when you're going into any book, be it, I don't care what sacred text it is, and they give you a verse they give you a chapter and a verse, always read above it and beneath it to be able to help yourself put it in the context, unless it's the Proverbs, because then, you're in a different world. In the Psalms, you're in a different world. You someplace else. And if you want to learn how to read those, just ask Goddess Rael or one of us that have spent some time over there in those proverbs. They get a little tricky. But they mention here from the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 22. And I'm going to open it for you here, and it says, for wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me, for in her is the understanding spirit, the Holy One, the only one, manifold, subtle, lovely, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, and which cannot be letted, ready to do good. Man, what you know about that, right?
You know about that.
What you know about that? It's a bunch of words that stand out in that. I love to see some people throw in the chat what words stood out to them from that. So maybe they could throw some words in there if they feel like participating. I'm used to being in the room with y'all. Y'all wouldn't be able to hide behind these screens. I'll be coming out in the audience and asking for some volunteers that get up here and help talk about this information.
Yes.
Can we can I get back on the screen for a second? I want to share something. Okay. So I don't do a lot of public reading anymore in terms of tarot and divination cards, unless I'm at an event or I get asked to do that for a particular group of people. But from my goddess deck, I wanted to share my Sophia card.
Oh wow. Oh wow. You have a Sophia card. What deck is that?
This is a goddess deck.
Nice.
And I wanted, we talked about the symbology. I want to see, does anybody realize that in here we don't really hear Sophia mentioned as a name? We hear wisdom.
Yes.
We don't hear Sophia. It's nowhere where it's saying Sophia. It's saying wisdom.
Absolutely.
So what can you take from that? And I mean, you can take a lot of things from that, but I guess what I'm asking is, the person that wrote these texts, were they writing to a certain people who already knew?
It's like
because where would they see the word Sophia? They'd have to know that was the wisdom, right?
Yes.
So we get so this is when we start to take some of this stuff out and realize that these books were written by knowing people for knowing people.
Yes.
To be able to do and assist in the great awakening that they knew was going to take place eventually. You could only stay in ignorance for so long. You understand? Because this is what they were talking about, that natural progression of, from ignorance to knowing to doing, this is that is that natural progression. When you know better, you do better for the most part.
Absolutely. I agree.
And those who don't choose not to.
That part, because of that free will.
Because of the free will.
Absolutely. I wanted to say, because I just got a download. It was crazy because we were talking about Sophia, Christ, right? And everybody, the Christ consciousness. But as you said, Sophia is wisdom. So when Jesus Christ spoke, he spoke the wisdom of Sophia. So behind Jesus' words, behind Jesus was Sophia all the time. It was always the mother and the son. And so every time we see that depiction of the mother and the son, it's not just Mary and Jesus. It's Sophia. It's the wisdom behind the man. It's the wisdom behind the words that he spoke. Just like you said, that's when the download came. When you kept saying he, and I knew you were going to say, it was like, yes, because she was speaking, like, it was like, yes, he is the word. The word was God, yes, but the thought was Sophia. The thought that came to his head before he spoke it was her. So which one came first? You would think before you speak. They tell you to think before you speak. That means tap into that divine wisdom before you open your mouth and sound like a fool. And so tap into Sophia. That's what she is there for, to bring. And so when I get these downloads, it's not just the downloads that I'm getting wisdom from Sophia. I'm getting downloaded information that she wants me to share. And again, when I was sitting here, you were saying that, it was just like, wow. And I didn't have this thought beforehand that, like, because we do hear he all the time, right? We always hear the word was God. Okay. But before you wrote a word, you've had a thought.
Sure. And and I wanna remind us too that we are not talking about he and she in the context of physical bodies.
No, we're talking about energy.
We're talking about energy. So Sophia is an energy The Christ is a consciousness.
Absolutely.
You know, so you know, it fed the consciousness. The and which what Sophia is also known for is balance.
Yes. My God.
You know, just enough soft, just enough hard,
Yes.
just enough peace, just enough chaos. And so when you started with Kali in the beginning, Kali came in to tear it all down.
That's right.
She said, let the bodies hit the floor.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And she stood on top of them, you know, when she got finished.
Yes.
You feel me? And it was necessary because it was like, okay, it's like when I said people be begging for a butt whooping, you know, they be poking you, and then you just spaz out and let the bodies hit the floor. Everybody be like, oh, she was serious.
Right.
Oh, okay. So she said, do that now.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta do that now.
We gonna do that right now.
Let's get on that now. You know, maybe she was serious.
It was necessary though.
You know, she got the sword like this.
Yep.
She got some skulls around her neck.
Yep.
I think she might be serious. You know what I'm saying? I think she might be serious.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
She dancing on folks. Like, what's up? You know? But I wanted to come back to this Sophia picture here. Right? I wanted just to look at that.
I'm gonna put you on the main screen so everybody can see it up close real quick.
Okay. Isn't that beautiful? This is beautiful work. Okay, so are you coming back, Rox? So when you saw that picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody soft. She covered. She just carrying her little bag, you know, a little cloth. She out in the flowers, you know, just a lot of symbology in this picture, you know. And when you think of the softness and the fullness and the balance, the harmony that it takes to rule the universe with wisdom, it's a thing where you have to have a place of peace already. You have to have a knowing. And I want to go back to that pronoia versus paranoia.
Yes.
And what can take you from one to the other. You know, paranoia is thinking that everything is out to get you. But in order to experience pronoia, you have to do something that paranoia doesn't allow. And what's that?
You have to believe. You have to have faith that things are going to work out for you. People who are paranoid, they just nah.
But I'll take it one further.
Okay.
You have to know.
Yes, that's true. Forget believe. You have to know. And you're right about that, because it's an internal thing that keeps you stable. It's like no matter what goes on outside of you, paranoia will have you believing that everything outside of you is a reflection of what's going to continue to happen.
Does paranoia go away?
No. Nope.
So you have to stay in the knowing.
Yep.
You have to stay in the knowing. You have to do things that reinforce your knowing.
Yes.
Which means learning how to discern and see the gnosis in things, the wisdom in things, the knowing in things.
Yes, agreed.
But better yet, what also fortifies it is being able to put it into practice.
And that's where the wisdom comes from. You know, you can know something, but if you never really truly experienced it, once you experience it, it's a different type of, like I can know from reading a book, right? That's where my knowledge, or that's just intellect. That's not even wisdom. That's just intelligence. I'm intelligent because I read this book, I took it in and I absorbed it. But now I've had an experience. Now I can tell you how things is going to go. Like, I can truly tell you, yes, the universe is working in my favor. When I say, you guys, that when I named this show Pronoia, the universe said you're going to have to stand on that. You said that. You're going to have to stand on that. And my life has from then on been a reflection that even though the things external, they continue to try to make me paranoid. They try to make me paranoid, but to step off of the platform of Pronoia. But it is the knowing. I know that the universe is working for me. And that's the only reason why I don't lose it and go be paranoid. It's because I know that even the crazy things that happen, I'm like, that's going to work out in my favor. It always works out in my favor. It moves me out the way. Maybe it was, a car accident, but I got a better car. I might have needed a new car. Or, like if you look at things in a way to not know, you don't have the knowledge of what's to come. So you have to believe and know within yourself that things are going to work out for you. And I think a lot of times people get trapped in not being able to see what's to come. So they get paranoid that if this is happening now, it's going to continue to happen. And it's that knowing that even though if you look back on your life, the knowing will hit you because nothing that happened, continued unless you kept thinking it was going to happen. But the minute you believed in yourself and you say, you know what, this is going to work out for me, things start to work out. It's what we really create this reality that we're in, paranoia or pronoia.
I'll agree with you, and I'll add on and say this. It is very difficult in a world where people have experienced the horrendous type things that they have, especially at the hands of other humans. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult to say that everything that happened is meant to happen. So let's not take away from anybody's trauma. Anybody that's listening tonight or in the future when you hear this, we're not saying, oh, just suck it up because it was supposed to happen. That's not what we're saying. And I know that that's not the thoughts of the Starseeds at Pronoia. They do everything they can to help you be able to navigate this world day to day. So we're not saying that it's very difficult. Nobody tells us about this in the beginning. And this is why we have a unique opportunity right now to share with the youth in a way that we weren't shared with, so they don't have to go through the shock like we did to be able to start to recognize and know some of these things. Now, even with knowing, there is still despair sometimes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because things do still happen. Sad things, quote unquote, happen. We still have emotions and feelings.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We still have these things. So, just because we know the universe is working for our good, it doesn't always mean that it will feel good. Absolutely. Or look good. Or even, even look like it's going to turn out good.
Yeah, we don't have that view.
I'll say this, it's easy to say everything's working out for your good. But everybody's not built the same. So how it would feel for you, what might be light work for you can be the whole anvil for somebody else. You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of times people think when I say certain things that it's light work, but I say it because I've been through shit that most people wouldn't even survive. And that's why I know it works out for you. Like, that's why where the knowing comes from. It doesn't come from the light work. It comes from the hard work, the things that should have killed me quite a few times. And to know that, I definitely, like traumatic, but because I don't look like what I've been through, a lot of people wouldn't even know that I've been through what I've been through. But I can only say Pronoia because I lived through it. I lived through things that should have killed me and seen God in my presence, like felt the presence of God with me. So that's how I know it's working out for you, because you and me are one. So if it's working for me, it's got to be working for you. And it may make people feel like, dang, she just say that in my life. Look at my life right now. But I'm asking you more than anything just to reflect on the fact that you've been through a lot of things prior to whatever it is you're going through right now. Even if it's the most traumatic, you went through other things to get you to that point, and you made it through that. So you have to know that things are going to work out for you, because You're here to learn, not to suffer. And yes, suffering comes from us not accepting the fact that things are going like it. This is our story as a collective and individual. You know, everything that we go through is our story. It's to build us. I lost my mother. That was not easy. I lost a lot of things within a very short period of time. That was not easy. I was homeless before. That was not easy. You know, I've been through things. I've had gun pulled on me before. That was not easy. There's so many things. I've been left. I've been beat. I'm not sitting up here as a person who's never been through anything telling you that the world is going to, everything will work out for you. I'm sitting here as a person that things should never have worked out for if I believed that they would not. Like all the conditions said no, but Divine said yes, because she knows that I'm working for her. It's the Job all day. Look at Job. You know, somebody came along and told Job, man, everything gonna be all right. He probably looked at them like, do you see my life? But he also
you know, Job is one of my favorite stories in the Bible. And Job tried to get at the Lord in a way that other folks did. And the Lord said, well, let you know something. So that's a great conversation. That's a great story. And that's a great book to read for all those who are dealing with the suffering aspect of it. I want to, you know, I'm so glad you mentioned that, you know, because we were talking about some of the references, and I'll share these references with you, Rox. Well, Rael, I'm sorry, y'all. I still call her Rox sometimes, my little sister.
All good.
But I will share these references with you because these are some of the places that they can go and do further reading. But one of the lines is so interesting what you just said about suffering. One of the lines that I pulled out was from the Pistis of Sophia, and this is a document from the 3rd and 4th century in Gnostic text. Mm-hmm. It's been edited by G.R.S. Mead, okay, and it says Pistis Sophia, the spirit of divine wisdom, descended into ignorance and suffering, but constantly sought to return to the light, embodying the soul's struggle and redemption.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I brought that part up because people say, well, what are we doing here? Redemption. It's about being dead, becoming alive, and redeeming yourself, mm-hmm. and living the best life that you can live in this world until we get to whatever the next one is.
Yes.
You know, whatever that next thing is, you know, and even that is questionable and can go on for out. That, do you realize that's a question that's been being asked and answered since the beginning of time? Some of these things that we sit here, we talk about, you know, we philosophize, but I mean, we ain't the first people to talk about this stuff, and we're not going to be the last, you know. But what I will say is that the unique perspective that we're able to bring is from a struggle that some people do not get to understand or experience or even know is going on. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know about you, but wasn't nobody in my hood talking about this.
Oh, absolutely not. No. Nope.
You know, and I remember when I started, they thought I was absolutely batshit crazy. You know what I mean? They was like, oh, she on one.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, hey, you know, say what you will. You know, but I want to talk about the 5 aspects of Sophia's wisdom, because Pronoia is just one of them. Mm-hmm. Okay. But before we do that, I want to make mention that you had brought up Gaia, Mother Earth. Now, you and I did not discuss what we would be talking about outside of the fact that we would be generally discussing Sophia. And, you know, much like when Nick and I get ready to do Unread, it is a book thing. I tell people, I think it's a nerd to nerd kind of frequency thing, you know. But when I pulled out this picture of Sophia, mm-hmm. I also pulled out this picture of Mother Gaia. Mm. Do you see how similar she looks to some of those
Yes.
statues that you had?
Yes. Full. The
Full.
Yes.
Abundance.
Abundance. Yes.
The very fullness, the very and I love this, I love the imagery, because if you get in closer, you can see the mountain range on her belly, the trees, going down towards her womb area, the water behind her, flowing, the wheat growing up here for sustenance, the sun shining above, it's what we don't recognize is we went from vice generous of the earth, the earth all submitting to us, to ignorant folks tearing up the earth. Now many people are trying to make this reconnection to the earth because Mother Earth is tired.
Yes.
This is why you see holes in the ground opening up, just sucking everything in. In the Quran, there's a surah to Zilzal that talks about the great earthquake and how when the earth is fed up, she gonna throw up her burden. Everything that's inside her that she fed up with, she gonna get rid of it.
Just like Pele, right? Like the volcano.
Yes, like Goddess Pele.
Yes.
Very much so.
If y'all see Moana, that's Pele.
Yes. So, like we said, Sophia has 5 aspects to her wisdom. Pronoia is one of them. Integrative unity is the other. Creative feminine power. Transformative knowledge. And compassionate justice. That's Sophia. That is Sophia. All of that.
Yes.
The integrative unity, realizing that there is no separation between the divine feminine and divine masculine in the way of creation. Because in creation is a little bit of everything. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Right? And when we come together, we can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And we get a lot done, right? I mean, in nature, if we paid attention to nature, if we followed nature, we'd be on track. But I argue that we are on track. This is the journey. We had to go from that ignorance into this space of knowing. There was a time where there was the time of delusion. These other times, the things that were going, these epochs of time. We are here in this one. Experiencing this is no greater time to be alive than the time of knowing.
I know.
And for an Aquarius, I know.
I know you know. This is your age. We are in that age. We just left the age.
Do you know how Aggie I feel on the one hand, but happy I am on the other?
Yes.
The Aggie part is, well, did you know? I'm like, hell yeah, I knew.
Yeah, I've been there.
And the happy part is seeing the light.
Yes.
In people's eyes. When they get to really start to know, because you could tell somebody something 1,000,000 times. You could tell them 1,000,000 times, but it is that transformative knowledge. It's when they hear it and it transforms them. Because it's for them then in that moment.
Right.
It is there. It's like the key. Somebody gave that person the apple.
Yep.
And they finally see it like, oh, and they with you now.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's like Neo in the Matrix when when they brought him in, he knew, hey, okay, we in the real world now. And it's about learning where you are, who you really are, your authentic self, smart video girl. Your authentic self.
Yes.
When you get in there and you in there for real, you are seeing the world different. And you loving it. And you hating it.
At the same time. Yes.
What?
That's the whole, yes. That awakening, that coming into the wisdom. And, you know, we talked about Ishtar, Ina, the fall, right? They talked about that fall, and then it's the loss of who you are. You're being stripped of everything just to return, right? Just to return back to who you are. You never lose anything. We're not here. We're not losing anything. We're actually gaining and returning back to ourselves. But we have to go through ignorance first. So a lot of us, like, I ain't come out aware. I just had more awareness, I think, than a lot of people around me at the time. And I started to follow that path. You know, I'm always like rooting for people to get on their path. And your path may not look similar to mine. But as long as you're on your path, we're all going to return back to the source. We've all fallen, and we all want to return in the way that we need to return. And so that's why I love that we did this show here, because a lot of people, again, may not be aware of the Gnostic texts about Sophia. You know, we've heard of it. We've heard of Isis. You know, we finally, before there was times we didn't even know who Isis or MaWu was. We didn't know anything about anything. We just knew Jesus Christ. I knew Jesus. I came out knowing Jesus. And that was learning to me since a child. So I knew Jesus, okay?
Did you know Jesus though?
But I didn't know Jesus. I had no idea truly of what I spoke, you know, and then so I went from ignorance to awareness to awakening. And again, Sophia told there is no time. We all have our own alarm clock set up, and it's going to go off on our own time. You know, MaWu may have wanted me to wake up to certain things when we first met, but she couldn't force me to wake up. I had to wake up on my own. And watching that awakening, it's like, you don't get to sit back and say, oh, look, no, she like rooted me on as I began to awaken to truly like all of, you know, when she met me, I was open to everything. My mind was just open because that was my first touch by the goddess. That was the first time that I was awakened by the goddess energy. And I met MaWu Lisa back then. And over this time, I've grown in wisdom because I've learned things through experience. And like I said before, I've been homeless. And you think being homeless, some people, they will stay in that state if you don't change your mind. And that's the thing, is to go back within. And Sophia has never been gone. Wisdom has never been lost. It's within us, but we learn through experience. And so I had to experience all of these other things to even come to the thought process of pronoia, that things are working out for me. And again, this goes through ignorance. A lot of times we think the world that we see is the world that it is. We don't realize that we are creating the world that we see with our words, our thoughts, and our deeds. And so, yes, I'm excited that we have this platform. We have several shows y'all can go back and watch to get more information. And also, you said you were going to give them some text that they can go back and look for themselves. And I would love for you guys to do that. And you can leave comments. You can come back and put comments under here. If you certain texts hit you a certain way, go ahead and put those quotes that hit you a certain way. Anything that touched you from this conversation or your own, when you start going down your own path, please share it with us. I think it's a beautiful, as we begin to awaken together in this age of Aquarius, this age of awareness, and this age
Absolutely. Of I think, one of the things that is really helping outside of the fact that we're more connected than we've ever been in terms of ways to be able to connect with each other is our creative energy. You see a lot of people laying down the things that are material and getting more into the things that are creative, of self and of things that help to self-refine. You see more people picking up instruments and paintbrushes. Yes. And gardening. I love to see people out gardening, working in the ag department. Oh, all you got to do is tell me you want to go outside, I can give you a million things to do outside. You know what I mean? Because I stay outside.
Yes.
So it's you know, this creative feminine power is forcing us to want to reconnect with the earth, because there's nothing more creative than the earth. You know, me and my daughter, I love Under the Sea. I love Under the Sea. Under the Sea is some amazing things under the sea. And we were looking at these red-lipped fish that live underneath the sea. Mm-hmm. These things, they walk with their pectoral fins. They got big red lips, and they got these weird head. Let me let you know, if I ever saw that anywhere, that would be the end of me. But they exist, and they existed before me. You know what I'm saying? These are old, you know what I'm saying, species. So when we think of old species, we have to think about how much knowledge is embedded in the earth all around us. Mm-hmm. The trees, when you learn how to communicate with nature, you get the answer to everything. Because truly, we are the microcosm of the macrocosm. So we are part of that. Mm-hmm. And the knowledge of our creation is in there. The knowledge of how to exist is in there. The way to create the same way God did is in there. You know, we talk about manifestation. People don't realize that's being it is. What is more godlike than that? Giving birth.
Okay, hey, hold on.
Okay, come on.
That's so true.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, my thing is, we have to look at these things and compassionate justice. Roxy, thank you for your support when we do Human Rights Week and some of the other things we do. But I want to bring this part up, the compassionate justice, because one of the things that we've learned from all the years of doing that project is it always comes down to the same thing. It's going to take a deep level of compassion and empathy to be able to get us back on our moral compass, because that's what's truly missing in this knowing. Because we can know all we want to, but if we're not ready to apply it because it doesn't fit into the construct that we trying to create, like, real talk, we have to be willing to do this work. It's going to take a lot of compassion and empathy, and that's going to come from understanding the divine feminine and masculine inside of us, because it's going to take courage, and a lot of people are not ready to exhibit that level of courage yet. We talked about that as well. And I just want to say, with the word wisdom, we love playing with words, that, Rox. And I always tell people like this: when you think of wisdom, think of a wise dome. Think of a dome with all kinds of things inside of it that are preparing you and reminding you of the lessons that you learned. My mother said, nothing is a teacher like experience in time. Mm-hmm. So when you got these things in your dome, file them away, know how to get references from them, know how to use the information, because this is what's truly, this is the Sophia Christ. Being able to walk in that wisdom, being able to walk in that consciousness, because the word is so, Sophia Christ is wisdom consciousness. So you're walking in your awakened state. Wisdom. And what can be more divine than that?
Absolutely. Wisdom consciousness. Y'all write that down, Starseeds. Wisdom consciousness. We're going to change the show for Pronoia to wisdom consciousness. Shoot, I love that.
Listen, it's what we're doing.
Yes.
This is what's important. We have our children watching. But you know what? I tell people this, I'm still watching my brothers and sisters because I'm still on this path too.
That part. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not, you know, I'm not done. I'm far from it. From it.
Look, I'm always learning. I love to bring people in here who know more than I. Of course, I surround myself with people who know more on different subject matters than I do.
Me too.
I love to be around. I never want to feel like I'm the smartest person in the room. I need to leave that damn room. I need to find some more people. Okay, we got to always be looking for more because there's so much to know. And again, that's why I have so many stars. I may never know everything, but it's good to be around people who know a lot of stuff. You know, like I may not all know.
You know, it's. I mean, a little bit of stuff. Think about this. What one person gleans from something, the other may not. You know, in Islam, it says when you learn something, you're supposed to share it, for the latter may understand better than the former. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
My thing is, you know, I get a message, I share it because it may not even be for me.
100%.
The message is, I got enough on my plate. I don't need no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, I done got these 10 channel messages. Who wants some? You know what I'm saying? Come get some of these. You know?
She said, I got these 10 channel messages. Who wants some?
Hey, listen. If you having a dry spell, I got something for you. I'm the water bearer. Constantly
That's
pouring.
right.
Constantly pouring. I be waking up. No. Anybody that knows me knows I sleep with a notebook and a pen. I always wake up, write some stuff down, go back to sleep. Write some stuff down, go back to sleep. What? Wake up, I'm like, that ain't for me. You know. Build turbine engine. What? That's definitely not for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, but again, remember when I was talking about that integrative unity? Like, again, we have to understand everything is, while it's about us, it's not about us, but it is about us because we are all us.
Yes.
Me helping you is helping me.
That's right. We all part of
Period.
Yes, we are all part of the bigger. That's why it's like you can't really leave nobody behind. We all together. It's all one consciousness. There's no left behind this. We all just awakening at different times. And again, like I feel like sometimes that this podcast that we're doing, even though yes, it's for our star seeds here, but I think it's even for those in the future who are going to need this. It's just for us to get the information out there. Whoever needs it is going to get it. And Sophia, again, she will come to you and give you wisdom to share, and it may not be for you. I have downloads all the time about stuff that I know I'm not gonna go do. I'm like, that definitely ain't for me, but you know what? That's a good idea. That's $1 billion idea right there.
Like, wow.
Right,
wow. Somebody gonna have a good time doing that.
Absolutely. I love that.
But yeah, do we have any more questions? And I just want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. I know it's late, but you know we can start at 9-ish.
Yes.
My sister, so, you know.
Yes, we don't have any more questions. Everybody's just following along. Thank you guys for being in the building tonight. Again, it's been a wonderful conversation, and I know there's going to be a part 4 to this. And it's going to be on the anniversary. You know, I got the reminders come up, right? So I was driving and I think it was my Gmail or Cloud. It was like a year ago. And it started being all of these pictures of the great mother. And I was like, look at that. That's all the stuff I downloaded. It said 4 years ago today. And it was 4 years ago before I did that first Great Mother show. And all the pictures came and downloaded. And I said, wow, like it just got me excited. I didn't even take a nap today, y'all. And y'all know I napped before the show. I definitely napped. I couldn't. I was very excited. And I'm fighting off something. And I'm fighting it off. And so I was like, I'm not going to take a nap because I might sleep until tomorrow. So we just going to push on through. So yes, it's late, but thank you, Starseeds, for being here and participating. And I hope you got something from this conversation because I did. I most definitely did. And I love how you broke it down for us. And I did look up some references, but I'm going to let you give us some, because I'm sure, because you named Sophia. what was the last one you said? Sophia.
Oh, Sophia Pistis.
Yes, that was on my list, but I was gonna skip it because I didn't know how to say it. So I'm glad I'm glad that you
Don't you ever be afraid to say something and it's not right. Girl, please. If that's the case, we'd never be talking. I mean, half of these words be this long. I can't even say them. So don't listen. Don't feel no way about that, babe. We here learning together. But I wanted to give you just a shout out because you are doing so much in so many ways in Pronoia, and I just love it. And I was thinking about your poetry offering that you said you'll be doing soon, and I actually have, because I do a goddess workshop. That's where a lot of these goddess cards come from. I do a goddess workshop. So one of the prompts I have for poetry is for Sophia, so I wanted to share it with the Starseed, so maybe they can do some poetry for your upcoming show. So it says, write a poem from the perspective of Sophia as a divine feminine force. You can talk about her fall or her redemption, expressing the emotions and wisdom embodied.
Oh my God, that is beautiful. Wow. Oh, yes. Starseed. I would love it. Yes.
So I'll write that one down for you because I have a poetry prompt for all the goddesses. But that one I wanted to make sure to give you for Sophia.
Thank you. That is what a wonderful way to end the show. You guys, yes, Pronoia Poetry is coming. If you are a poet and you are interested in displaying your beautiful poetry here on Pronoia, of course, we love the truth. We love things to uplift, and that's what I'm looking for. Conscious poetry, awakening poetry, poetry that gets the mind stimulated. If you have that kind of poetry and you want to share it here, please. You can hit me on Instagram. You can send an email to Foxy, Foxxi, Roxy, Roxxi 81 at Gmail. And just let me know you're interested. And we're going to get Pronoia Poetry up and running this summer. So tap in, hit that notification bell so you know when we are live and we are doing it. Knowledge said it, what is it? Pronoia Pronoia Poetry Jam or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be dope.
I love it.
And I love that. Maybe we'll even start with those prompts, with the Sophia prompt, because I love that right there. I really do. And I think it'll be a great segue into the poetry. What a beautiful prompt. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always anything for you, sis. You know that.
Yes.
You know it. So the books that I want to reference here. The Wisdom of Solomon, which can be found in the Bible that has the Apocrypha, or you can just find it in the Apocrypha itself. Okay. So the Wisdom of Solomon, that's in, let me see, this it's right here. Wisdom of Solomon is right after Esther. Okay. If you haven't read the Apocrypha, come hang out with us at MaWu Temple, child.
Okay.
We have a time over here. Anyway, next one is the Nag Hammadi Library itself. So, that's common. You can find that online, probably on open source or something like that. Elaine Pagel's The Gnostic Gospels, popular one. This one here was $12.
Oh, I had to get that for sure.
I'm sure it's less than that now. Probably you can find it again, and you could probably find it in a PDF on open source. African Genesis, Dr. Barashango. Okay. And then the Pistis of Sophia, that is edited by G.R.S. Mead, MEAD. And you can find that in the Sacred Text Archive. Just go in Google and look for the Sacred Text Archive. And the last one, Charles Tatum, The Heart of the Gnostic Sophia. And that talks a little bit about the spiritual dimensions of the goddess Sophia and in her in the wisdom and its application in Gnostic work.
Okay. Guys, I hope you wrote it down. You can go back and watch the video and write it down. But I hope you got those texts. I have a couple. Let me see if I have any that you did not, because you named quite a few.
Well, you got the great goddess, right?
Yep. Or Jesus and the Lost Goddess.
Jesus and the Lost Goddess, right?
Yes. And
beautiful book, y'all.
Yes.
Go check her out talking about it on Unread. She was excited to bring that.
I was. Let's see which ones I had. Oh, you said the Pistis. Okay, the Gospel of Philip.
Yes.
Yes, it speaks about Sophia as a mother, virgin, and bride. Let's see.
Now let's stop right there for 1 second. Okay, I know we ain't trying to have a whole nother conversation
about her being bride. Go ahead.
But say that again, though.
So it's the Gospel of Philip. It speaks about Sophia as a mother, virgin.
Stop. So wisdom as a mother, wisdom as a what?
Virgin.
And wisdom as a what?
Bride. Yes.
I try to tell people, boy, the answers be right in your face.
Right there.
Right in your face. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
The other text I have is On the Origin of the World. It's a cosmology text explaining the creation through a Gnostic lens. Hypnotasis of the Archons.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder, Perfect Mind, a mystical poet text spoken in the voice of the divine feminine. Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. The Gospel of Mary.
I'd be interested to hear you cover that one.
Oh, the Thunder?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, now look at you, buddy. Now you giving me assignments.
Now you know I'm gonna always sneak one in on you.
Yes. Hey. Thank you for tapping in. The next one, the Gospel of Mary.
Yes.
So focused on Mary Magdalene, it carries strong Sophia themes. The Sophia of Jesus Christ, a direct dialogue text where Christ explains the structure of the cosmos, the divine fullness, Sophia and humanity's origins. And that's those are the texts that I had listed.
You just brought back to memory something you said you wanted to cover before we left out of here this evening, and that was the Black Madonna.
Yes.
When
we bring her back up here.
Yes. The Black Madonna tells us so much. It gives us so much symbology inside of just the way it looked. Where it pops up in the world, and things like that. But one of the things it speaks to is the triple blackness, the darkness. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In which, creation starts. Everything in the universe, they say, is pitch black. And when you look at these Madonnas, they are pitch black. And so it's always so funny to see when they have Mary as pure white as snow. So it shows you that they're showing you two different things in the same embodiment. They showing you something that is full of life and something that has died. Yep. I'm sorry. I get tickly on the inside because I be thinking other stuff too, but you can't just say everything you be thinking. But but if you begin to look back through art history, which is one of my favorite things, you'll see that in France, there was a lot of symbology built into the churches and the floors of some of the cathedrals, the walls and the floors of many of the cathedrals, that spoke directly to not only the Black Madonna, but also to astrology, cosmology, and the origins of man. So, for those of us who enjoy research, going out in the world and doing some actual research, I would definitely be able to tell you some places where we can go in the world and see some of these depictions in person and get some of that information that you won't be able to find here in the book or behind a computer screen.
Yes.
So whenever y'all ready to do that travel, let me know. This is what I do.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to share with you one of my statues. Here, let me show you.
Let me get you back on the screen.
Yes, let me show you one of mine. This one, where did I get this one?
Hold on 1 second.
They were given to me.
Where am I? Oh, right here.
They were given to me in 1999. They were handmade. I have two of them.
Back on the screen. Oh, Raquel, you are tripping right here. Boop.
Okay. So this was given to me.
Okay, let me just say, I got excited because on the very first season of Pronoia, that was the symbol that I used for the mother energy. And when you pulled that up, I was like, yes, it just brought back memories.
Look at this.
Oh, I love that. Oh, wow. Where'd you get that? That is nice.
It was a gift. It was a gift. It was given to me in 1999, and it was handmade. And when one of the sisters came back from India, she brought it for me.
That is absolutely.
And so I have a set. It's a set of them. And so when the seasons change, and I do my altars, I switch my seasons, and I do all of my good, little magi witchy stuff. I do my wisdom. Yeah, I do my Sophia.
Sophia.
And let me just say, I'm the proud mother of a daughter named Sophia.
Really? Wow.
And and Sophia means untroubled in Arabic language. And it's spelled with the sword and 2 F's. So it's different, but it's still the name itself. I chose it because it came from one of the wives of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who revelation came down, changing the prayer because of her need. So it's a name that means untroubled. So I love the name Sophia. It's one of my favorites.
I love that.
Yeah. Yep.
I love it.
This is fun. I told you we could just get started because now it's like, yeah, what you want to do?
Yes. Normally, again, we do this around this time because it's my mother's. Again, shout out to my mom. This is the day that she went on over there and to hang out with Sophia. And shout out to her because she is definitely in the building tonight. Did I put some? Oh, yes. I wanted to share this. Oh, my goodness. I'm glad we talked about. So shout out to my cousin. Yeah, Strawberry Kisses. So when my mom passed away, I was distraught. I was messed up for a while. And my girlfriend, she had this created for me, and I thought it was so beautiful.
Oh, that is absolutely beautiful.
And so there's my mom inside the organite, and it used to light up, y'all. It actually did, but it doesn't anymore. It's been a while. And then on this side, you have that's my Pronoia hands, which is beautiful. And then she has my 3 girls.
Oh,
yes. And so I thought that was so beautiful. And my oldest and me right here. but it was in remembrance of my mom. So shout out to, there she is, my cousin who I have two of these exact same, and they're on my mantle between the picture. The only picture I have of my mom is the one I keep displaying to you guys. Well, I have other pictures I've downloaded from family members who sent me pictures, but the only physical picture I have is the one I always use. And so they took that picture and put it in here, and it was so, I mean, like I was crying like a baby. I was so happy.
Course.
So thank you, Cuzzo, for that. And I definitely set flowers around it in remembrance of her on this day. So thank you so much. Thank you, Starseeds. I really appreciate y'all tonight for tapping in. I love, this is like one of my favorite episodes, and I love all y'all Starseeds, but the mother show is like our staple for Pronoia Starseed Podcast. If with no mother, it'd be no me. Like, and there'd be no mother, there'd be no Pronoia, there'd be no nothing. So shout out to the mother energy. Shout out to our mothers. Shout out to you if you're a mother. Shout out to everybody who has a mother. Okay, so shout out to everybody. Okay, because we all got a mother, of course.
I love that.
And so, before we go, do you have anything else to add, Miss MaWu Lisa?
No, I just want to say, thank you so much again for always including me in this. You know how much I miss my mom, and
yes,
I love the fact that we are able to share this space and think about them. And I know how proud my mother is every time we sit down and we do something like this. And I know your mother is just as proud. So, we are doing the work. We are doing the things that they wanted us to do, which was to be upright women and to help, lead in that way, with our divine feminine, and knowing, knowing our role in the greater picture of humanity. So I'm just really grateful to be here. And I love coming on every year and bringing something old and something new, because you can never study this stuff too much. You can never talk about it too much. I mean, if we came on next year and read the same exact lines over again, it would mean something completely different. And I appreciate that, because that just shows that we are growing on this journey, and that we are maturing, and that we are displaying and walking in Sophia Christ.
Absolutely. You say so much that be just, we could go all night. Let me just say that, because when you said that, I had the same conversation with Smart Video Girl about the spiral, and how people don't realize that the spiral is really just showing us how we keep expanding around like we will continue to learn the same lessons, but we will get different knowledge. It's like listening to a song when you're a kid and then listen to it, adult, you're like, what the hell was I singing? You just didn't even know. And then listening later on, and after you've been through a lot of things, and that song hit you a whole nother way. And it's like, that's the information. So yes, you're right. We can come back next year and it'll hit a whole nother way, because we'll be in a whole nother age and we've learned so many different things. So we're going to continue to have this conversation. I'm going to continue to invite you back, because this right here is the home of Sophia, home of the goddess, home of wisdom, Pronoia. So I thank you so much for being here tonight. I truly do, from the bottom of my heart. And I probably can finally pass out for the day, because now all the energy has been given to you, Starseed. So I hope you go run around recklessly like I have, with all this beautiful energy that has been put into me. I've given it back to you. And I thank you again, MaWu Lisa. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank
you. Even though you temporarily an honorary Starseed, I'm still trying to pull her over here, y'all. She is the great mother over here. Okay, she's like, seriously, like people like, I'm Mama Starseed, true, but she my mama, so mama got a mama too, So shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you, Starseed.
Baby.
Pronoia means the universe is always conspiring in your favor, no matter what. I know it look crazy out there. Look, I try not to even go out there, but listen, you can't run from it. Just be in awareness and know, not believe, know that things will work out for you. I love you, Starseeds. I hope you have a wonderful night, a wonderful evening. And know the real ones never break. We bend, but we don't fold. All right. I love you. Peace.
Peace.
Turn me up. Real one, no break. No.
Yeah. Real ones never break, no. Real ones never break, no. Real ones never break. We bend but don't fold. Pressure made diamonds, I was built for the cold. Came from the bottom, now I'm chasing the gold. Heart too solid, I never be so. Yeah. Real ones never break, now I never that. Lost it all once, had to double back. Pain in my chest, I remember that. Now I walk strong, I ain't going back. Came from the mud, yeah, the dirt on my name. Had to fight demons, had to deal with the pain. Nobody helped me, I was stuck in the rain. Now I'm shining, they be screaming my name. I was down bad, pocket flat, no hope. Now I'm riding through the city, top down, no roof. Had to learn quick how to move, stay low, cause the ones close. Turn fake, that's truth. I done seen love, turn hate overnight. Had to cut ties, had to get my mind right. Every scar, got a story to write. Now I'm glowing in the dark like a light. Real one never break. We bend but don't fold. Yeah. Pressure made diamonds, I was built for the cold. Came from the bottom, now I'm chasing the goal. Heart too solid, I never be so. Mama told me, boy, stand tall, don't quit. Even when the world try to break your spirit. I was in the trenches, they ain't see me win it. Now I'm on top, yeah, I came with a vision. They were laughing when I said I rise. Now they watching every move, surprise. I kept grinding, ain't switch no sides. Stay real even when I had nothing inside. I remember nights I ain't eat no sleep. Now I'm feasting, blessings coming deep. But I still move like the pain don't leave. Cause the scars remind me who to be. They try to break me down, I stood tall. Even when I felt like I might fall. God had a plan through it all. Now I'm rising, I'm answering the call. Yeah. Real ones never break. We don't fold. Came too far, I can't lose my soul. Fire in my heart, yeah, it stays on go. If you real like me, let the whole world know. Let's go. Step in the game, I'm applying pressure. Talk on my name, I'ma send a message. Came from nothing, now I'm stacking extras. Real ones move different, I'm built better. I don't play fair when it's wartime. Cross snakes, I don't spare mine. Came through clean, but I fight grime. Now I'm eating good, yeah, it's prime time. They ain't believe, now they switching sides. Funny how they act when you touch the sky. I kept it real, I ain't never lied. Now I'm up, I got nothing to hide. Real ones never break, never fold. Yeah. Even when the nights feel cold, hold your ground, never lose your soul. Yeah. Real one story forever told. Yeah. Real ones never break.
She's your queen to be, a queen to be forever, a queen who'll do whatever his highness desires.
Yeah, big fat nigga, off rip, big fat, got pulled like a crossbow, green like a snot nose, don't fool with lost toes, keep the Glock close, case a nigga try to meet me at the crossroads. Sheesh, made it out the mud to the top floor, upscale hood, baby, shop at Costco, small but I'm hard like a gallstone, back against the wall, let it ring like a wall phone. I let it purr in the cat fight, light skin but a nigga ain't half white, every beat I'm on is a crash site, 7 years old when my dad died, no cap, my experience was serious, get reary around the myriad of niggas that's amphibious, I had to learn to keep my sucker small, nigga period, savages, law evidence, hard to grapple with, ravenous, ghetto fabulous, well established, catalyst for every daddies is who be the maddest when, you ain't doing bad as them, hey look, big facts for them chance that I rock with ya, ice cold with the stick like a popsicle.
Nigga, I'm too rich to be broke. Till my bank account, it better catch up to my soul. Manifesting through the pain, take back what I own. Every time I'm on the track, my tongue gon' speak gold. Nigga, royalty, I just landed on earth, yeah. Shows a body, skin color like the dirt, yeah. And if I put my hand on it, it'll work, yeah. Everything I touch is gold, nigga, royalty, yeah. I'm abundant in my soul, royal from my head to my pinky toes. Every time I check the bank, it overflows. So I withdraw and it just send me back more, nigga, royalty. See, if I touch it, it's gon' prosper, there's no other option. Got so much power from the source, I'm about to blow the socket. They say I'm so different, I'm from another dimension. So much God in my genes, you think I'm rocking true religion. Not to mention holiness inside my breath, the spirit speaks when I be spitting. Abundance can't live without me, man, I think we codependent, it's written. God in the body of a beast, why you think I got dominion everywhere I lay my feet? With a pedicure too, cause I breathe excellence. Walking around smelling godly, so that means I'm heaven sent, yeah. Royalty is all they see when I come around. I'm just a queen who chose to wear her crown. I'm too rich to be broke, till my bank account, it better catch up to my soul. Manifesting through the pain, take back what I own. Every time I'm on the track, my tongue gon' speak gold, nigga, royalty. I just landed on earth, yeah. Shows a body, skin color like the dirt, yeah. And if I put my hand on it, it'll work, yeah. Everything I touch is gold, nigga, royalty, yeah. I'm abundant in my soul, royal from my head to my pinky toes. Every time I check the bank, it overflows. So I withdraw and it just send me back more, nigga, royalty, yeah. Loading in me, be patient with me, I'm buffering. No more playing small, it's too many of us suffering. Humble what? Humble who? Bro, that's who I used to be. The insecure me died and you listening to her eulogy. Conveniently calling me arrogant cause they can't use me. Crazy how they finally see themselves when they lose me. Always had some options, but I had to learn to choose me. And now your girl is choosy. Going through the process and surrender to the outcome. Walking through my trauma cause that's the shit I can't outrun. She say she better off without me. Okay, baby, have fun. Trying to find a fuck to give, but I can't seem to find one. Moving. On. Gotta keep moving, life's train ain't stopping. Hot in this bitch and I said, what's poppin'? If God really for me, baby, tell me who can stop me. Walking in his glory, so I'm feeling like I'm cocky. If God be for me, who can be against me? I'm not who I was, but I am more me. Lost a lot of people just to find my peace, yeah. And I found my peace, yeah. Yeah. And I found my peace. Moving. There's a version of me that has been burning to emerge. She's when self-love and authenticity become so intimate that they conceive the reflection of God. Yeah, she knows depression, but she lives in joy. She feels anxiety, but she leans into trust. Yeah, this version of me, she can thrive in chaos, but she chooses to surround herself in peace. She's so cold that her words freeze over the hell that people have been living in. Yeah, this version of me has been with God. And now, you're about to experience heaven on earth.